Change the channel, and this is the special edition of Monologue of a Revolutionary. Being as it's halfway through the first season, I figured it'd be a good time to just let the season play continuously through, go over some terminology used, bring everyone up to speed, and give a little insight on what's to come during the second half of the season. So let's start off with what's happened so far.
The older I get, the shorter the days seem. They all blur together. And the next thing you know, you're 30. Then you're 40. And you're 50 years old. And when did that happen? I remember when the day seemed like an eternity. There's so many rules to follow back then, though. Thinking when I grow up, I won't have to follow them. Just to find out, the rules keep coming. The man keeps making new ones up as the years go by. And they seem to get more absurd, more intrusive. I guess that's why I always fought against authority, fought against their rules. Rules are made up for us to follow, that the people who made them up refuse to follow themselves. Fairness always seems to be the missing component. It's a do as we say, not as we do philosophy, and even as adults, we are treated just like we were when we were kids, except the punishment for dissent is heavy. In this day and age, freedom is a privilege that can be taken away just for asking a simple question. Rights are something dangled in front of us as bait to bribe the weak into submission. They call it a new world order. The ones that are left, the ones that continue to fight, call it an abomination. Today we rest and remember, for tomorrow we attack. Early bird gets the worm, they say. But if the bird faced the consequences we do, it might have decided to sleep in today. I hope our diversion gave them enough time to get the job done. In this day and age, communication and information is gold. We get 5 minutes each week to email loved ones, which I believe is just to monitor for dissent. Organizing against the powers that be have become almost impossible. We don't even know what's going on anywhere else and aren't allowed to talk about it in our emails. If we do, we get blackbagged and a free trip to Camp Friendly for re-education. I don't know if I can go through that again. This is why we do missions like this, to exchange intelligence and to search for others like us. It's really the only thing we can do at this point. After they squashed the armed revolt of 2020, we've had to start over from scratch. We've been limited to causing diversions while our last 2 hackers do their thing. We used to have 10, but 8 have been caught in the last month and got a one-way ticket to Camp X-Ray. No one ever comes out of that place. I've got to hang here for a while. Drones everywhere. They're locking down the area and doing VRCs, virtual roll calls. Lucky for me, my friend finished my avatar before he was bagged last week. I really hope we got some good news. I don't know how long we can hold up. Our numbers are dwindling by the day, and it's getting harder to trust anyone. The reward for turning one of us in is a merit stripe and an opportunity to work for them. And when you work for them, you get electricity, running water, and plenty to eat, but at the price of selling out people who only want to be free. I don't know how they sleep at night. I'm going to be here for a while.
Report to your VRC. I repeat, report to your VRC. Thank you for your cooperation.
Just made it back in the nick of time. I can't believe I slept that long. Man, what was I thinking? I didn't have my avatar set for the nightly VRCs. That would have been all bad. Would have been CXR, here I come. And they made me take down my flag this morning before I left. Said it was not very wise to hang such relics. Jeez. I really can't stand that sign outside my window. Hopetown Village with smiley faces all over it. I can't remember the last time I saw anyone smile. Hopetown Village. We call it Dopetown Village because of the amount of crap they shove down our throats. Especially the HMs. Hypnotic medications. They're the worst. They try and keep us in that state of mind for much of the week so that they can fill our heads with a bunch of garbage. And you know what? It works. It does. That's the sad thing about it. We are always battling the mind jam. Always trying to figure out what is real and what is not. And it boggles the mind. That's why I try and not think about it too much and just focus on the task at hand. Hopetown Village. There's a way out, though. Earn enough merit stripes and you'll get your ticket to Masdar City. City of the future. I could have already been there as long as I've been here. But I got bagged and friendly, so they aren't too forthcoming with those merits after that. I don't even know if I want to go. I mean, my family is there, but doing what I have to do, I don't know how safe they would be with me around. We sent a squad in a couple of months ago hoping to get intel on what's going on there. That was our mission today. To contact them, hopefully. I won't find out anything for a week or so. We can't talk about it now. The Sentinels will have their ears to the ground for a while. Plus the snitch patrol will be on the prowl. Man, they make me sick. They would turn in their own mama to get those stripes, and some have. It's all about making us obedient and complacent to their will. No freedom of thought, no creativity, just a systematic life of their creation with them, of course, on top. I just can't do it. It's just not right. New World Order. If I hear that one more time in my life, I'm gonna lose it. Man, it's gonna be a long week.
Lights out in 3 minutes. I repeat, lights out in 3 minutes. The New World Order is a wonderful order of peace and harmony. Embrace the love the New World Order has historically used. No crime, no hunger. Live out your life with your family in the city of the future. Masdar City, where the world of wonder begins. The anger you possess is the anger from the old world. This world no longer exists. No more pain. No more war. It's a world of unity where the sky is not the limit. The New World Order will stretch around the universe.
And here we go again. Another long stretch of hypnotic mixes and loudspeaker brainwashing, telling us how beautiful and peaceful the New World Order is. If we just give it a chance. This goes on for most of the week here at Hopetown Village. Hope. I keep sanity through it by playing mind games like trying to guess what HM cocktail they're giving us. I would venture to guess it's a barbiturate sprinkled with some MDMA this week. They like to keep us in this mind state somewhere between sleep and euphoria. It makes it easier for them to do their thing. And by the end of the week, a new group will be shipped to Masdar City. You know, I wonder what they'll do when there's only people like myself left. The ones who don't fit into their new world order. I can't think about that now. I just gotta make it through the week. Gotta hope we got some good news coming, something we can use. We're running out of time. I don't even know how long I've been here anymore. It seems like an eternity. Oh crap, here we go. I just gotta make it to my bed. Alright, man, come on. Oh, they'll be coming soon with smiles on their face to ask questions. The same questions they always ask. Don't you want to be a part of the New World Order? Sure, it sounds great. Live in peace and harmony. Yeah, sure. I'd love to be a complacent and obedient slave to the families. Of course I won't answer them that way. I'll do what I always do. Talk gibberish while biting my tongue to keep from laughing or spitting in their face. Man, I hope our squad is set up in Masdar so we can move forward with some sort of new plan. We gotta get out of here soon. I don't know how much more I can take. My mind is breaking. There's not many of us left. Just to stand one more time, breathing the fresh air of freedom. It would almost be worth getting sent to CXR for. Break out and just stand there on a mountaintop until they come and bag me. And then I'd spit at them. I think that's my end game if nothing else works. But for now, I gotta keep strong. I gotta keep focused. This is too important. We cannot allow this to become the norm. It's just not right. Oh, wow. I just got an idea. I really hope I can remember it.
Lights out in 3 minutes. I repeat, lights out in 3 minutes.
Man, what a week. One would figure you get used to it, but you don't. This one took a toll on me for sure. I'm just glad we get a couple days break each week from the drugs. My mind is mush. But got some good news finally tonight about our mission last week. The squad we sent to Masdar is up and operational. They said communication's a lot easier there and that they've been in contact with others who have come from all the other regions. They say that all 10 regions have been consolidated to 2, which is one on the west coast and the other on the east coast, leaving regions 4 through 8 empty, except for the remaining camps like the one I'm in. And of course, the small pockets of resistance that remain for the most part in Texas, which is region 6. I'm in region 7. There's also word around the campfire that the ones they shipped out to Masdar this morning were the last ones that were gonna go. We do hear that every time though, so you never know. It seems like they're herding us out of the center of the country to the coastline. But what are they gonna do with all this space? Some say they're gonna nuke it to wipe out the remaining resistance, and Others say they're going to harp the Madrid fault line to connect a waterway from New Canada to the Gulf. I personally haven't had time to even think about it. I'm more concerned about our next move as our time is running out here. I do know that. Most of us that remain have already been black-bagged once and sent to Camp Friendly for re-education, so we don't have any merit stripes, and it looks as though, minus snitching, we're not going to get any. Everyone left here knows that, so we need to make a move. I had an idea this week that was really good, but my head is still scrambled from all the drugs and I only got bits and pieces. I'll be able to think clear tomorrow and hopefully it'll come to me. We're supposed to meet up tomorrow during Free Day. Free Day. Sounds nice, don't it? I don't know why they even bother anymore. They should just call it Work Day. It's where we clean every inch of Hopetown Village with sentinels perching with sniper cannons just waiting to pop someone who steps out of line. You got the snitch patrol operatives all over the place trying to befriend you for some information or provoke any sort of dissent. Drones listening to everything that is said from afar, but they'll get nothing. I mean, unless one of us turns. We use an encrypted sign language of our creation. Man, what in the world? There seems to be a lot of activity tonight. Something's going down. I didn't get much sleep last night. They spent most of the night moving all sorts of equipment out of Hopetown. We knew this time would come. Today seems like we're just preparing to die. They're not even working us much today, which is a telltale sign something's going on. They even cut the staff here in half overnight. I guess it finally came true. They really did ship that last group to Masdar. It's kind of funny. I remember hearing that same exact story when I first came here. It was a lot different then. They had just pretty much squashed the 2020 revolt in a single day. They knew every location of every individual that was going to be involved even before they did. It started out in all major cities around 5 in the morning. It came fast and it came hard. By 10 a.m. they had unarmed over 100 million citizens as well as killing tens of thousands across the country. 4 hours earlier at 6, they hit smaller cities, burbs, and outhouses. From what I hear, they stopped all operations at 10 a.m. They were waiting. They knew exactly what would happen next. Given time, the people who remained armed would gather. They knew those locations all across the country too. And then at 12, the drones came and neutralized the terrorists for 10 straight hours. Or at least that's what the headline read. Of course, they didn't get them all. Small bands of people still remain today out there. That's where I'd be if I hadn't got scooped. Others ended up building Masdar City under the cloak of hope, new beginnings, and the new world order. And the rest ended up in a place like this. Hopetown Village with the smiley faces plastered everywhere. Always trying to sell hope. Man, I wish these cats would come on. I need some info. Anxiety is riding high from what went on last night to coming off a solid week of drugs. Again. I got the shakes and the itches. I say we take advantage of the village only being half-staffed. I'd really love to get into Camp Friendly. It doesn't feel right leaving here without them. They could already be dead at this point, though. I still haven't gotten over my stint there. You're never the same after something like that. How could you be? Here we go. Finally. We wave, then go about our business as we were. Except now we talk. See? The activity last night? Roger that.
Lights out in 3 minutes. I repeat, lights out in 3 minutes.
I was told earlier that we were all meeting up tonight after lights out. This will be very dangerous. I mean, we've never met up like that before. It's usually using our sign language at a distance, and it's short and to the point. I mean, from time to time, a couple of us will meet up to finalize a mission, and then we pass it on to everyone else. This is different, though. The chance of us getting caught is 99.9%, so either way, I don't think we'll be returning. Wonder what the plan is. I mean, are we going to try to head down south and link up with one of the remaining pockets of resistance, or are we going to go straight for Masdar City? Whatever we're going to do, it was not going to be easy at all. There's about a dozen of us left. We have 2 hackers, a few engineers, half a dozen ex-military grunts, including myself, and then there's Major Warslinger. He used to be a military strategist. He's the one that's kept us on track. He's also the only one I know of who has ever been bagged twice here and lived to tell the tale. They watch him like a hawk. I think the only reason why they didn't send him to X-ray was to find people like us. But Warslinger, he's always a few steps ahead of them. That's why they bagged him twice. He was never caught doing anything. They just bagged him to bag him. Also, one of the snitch patrol approached me before the nightly VRCs trying to get information. He wanted to know if I knew anything about what went on last night with all the moving. I responded like I always respond to those rats. Like an empty shell of a person who is broken and just awaiting death. Because you're either one of those types of people, or you're part of the underground unless you're a snitch. That's all that remain now. They know it, and they know we know it.
Lights out in 1 minute. I repeat, lights out in 1 minute.
But there's only about 30 people left for them to keep an eye on until they do whatever it is that they're going to do to us. I even saw them having some sort of party before the VRC. They seem to put a lot of faith in their technology, which has always worked out to our advantage. Let's just hope that's the case tonight, because we're about to do something we've never done before. No one here has, and for good reason. But I trust Warslinger. He wouldn't have us doing this unless he had a plan. But I do have my backup plan also that I finalized earlier this past week while I was on the HMs. So I'm not coming back. I can't do it anymore. I can't do the drugs, the torture, just sitting here waiting to die. If I'm going out a free man.
Lights out, I repeat, lights out.
And it's on.
Thank you for your cooperation.
And that was the first half of the first season. Now, a lot of people ask, where's the action? And I always reply, it's a monologue for the most part. There is and will be some action, but not full of multiple characters battling, and all of this stuff as far as visually. I mean, it's a monologue, so the main action is in the main character's story. Now, I will tell you, though, there will be more activity going on the second half of the season. I mean, they're leaving Hopetown Village one way or the other at this point, and no telling where they're going. But before we go over all of that part, the ending part and where we left off, let's recap so I can explain some things that might have been overlooked. The character was bagged during the revolt, the main character was bagged during the revolt of 2020 and was placed in Camp Friendly, which is a re-education camp. He was then released into the adjacent area called Hopetown Village, which used to be a small town called Hope before the revolt. But at this time, it's a prison with sentinels perched everywhere with sniper cannons, drones, the snitch patrols roaming everywhere, and they're keeping everyone on HMs, hypnotic medications laced with the flavor of the week for about 90% of the time. Weeding out the people they feel they've broken and sending them on to Masdar City, which means the city of the future, Smart City. They award merit stripes for extreme good deeds, total compliance, and of course, snitching. Also, answering their questions correctly while you're on the HMs. They come in, periodically throughout the week and everything and ask you a bunch of questions. That always helps at the end of the week's evaluation. The character and people at the camp, not at the camp, but at the Hopetown Village, are able to email their family in Masdar City once a week. There's to be no questions about the conditions of either place. That's one of the rules. It appears to the character that they allow this to catch people trying to break the protocol and to break them down into submission by letting them see their families. They also have certain times of the day that they have to do VRCs, which is virtual roll call, which is a device that's in each person's quarters that scans for their presence. Now, the underground IT have programmed avatars for everyone so that they, if they need to do a mission or something like that, the computer program feeds the biometrics for each member when prompted. Now, what you don't know at this point is that they're also RFID chipped. Now, you'll see a little more about that one in the next episode. I'm just saying as a small spoiler, they don't even know they're chipped yet. Anyhow, we've also learned that there is, more than one Masdar City. There's one on the East Coast and there's one on the West Coast. The character's family is at one of the two, but he hasn't had time enough to, really filter that in, because he just learned recently that there were two and that they were clearing out the center of the country and everything and just having these two big cities. Now, we also learned that in the revolt of 2020, as they called it, it wasn't really a revolt until the people were attacked. I mean, they were forced into it. And we still haven't learned yet what triggered the gun confiscation / martial law event. A lot of people ask me how our military and police would get their heads around, doing such a thing. I mean, I have to say, continue watching the show and you will learn what the trigger was and how it got justified. Anyhow, so the main character is about to meet up for the first time all together at once, the remaining underground members, which he knows that there's no returning afterwards. I mean, the drones will lock on to that activity quick after lights out, and the avatars, are obsolete. They're of no use at this time anyway. Now, we know that the last group of people that were going to be shipped to Masdar have been shipped, and by the activity at Hopetown Village that they're clearing it out. We also learned in the last episode about Major Warslinger, who's an ex-military strategist who has been the brains behind the resurgence. He is also the only person the main character knows that has been bagged and sent to Camp Friendly twice. Now, in the future, we will, get to learn about what went on at Camp Friendly from the main character's memories. But for now, he's on his way to meet up with the rest of the resistance to see, what they're going to do. Now, he knows they're either going to go for Masdar City or they're going to join up with one of the small pockets of resistance that remain that they have been in contact with. That's been the majority of their missions at Hopetown. They caused diversions so that their hackers could broadcast messages, reach out to people, and also collect information. They also sent a squad into Masdar City, which they made it in, as was confirmed during their last mission. Now, what we don't know is how they got there. I mean, that's all to come. So anyhow, that's where we are with the show so far. Thanks for watching and all your support. I'm ChangeDaChannel, and I'm out.